After the success of Tiny Toon Adventures, Steven Spielberg wanted a new show, similar to Tiny Toons. He wanted a spin-off show all about Plucky Duck, but co-creator Tom Ruegger developed something entirely original, a sketch comedy cartoon called Animaniacs, a show that would feature a large cast of colorful characters, who would rotate episode per episode. They went to pitch the show at Spielberg's house on a Saturday morning of late 1991. The artists drew pictures of the characters so Steven could pick the Animaniacs cast. Some of the characters he picked were the potential host of Animaniacs, Yaki, Smacky and Wacky. The inspiration for their designs was from Tom Ruegger's college thesis film The Premiere of Platypus Duck. Even though Steven liked the Duck brothers, he thought they wouldn't really stand out, as there were a lot of duck-centered cartoons at the time, so they were reworked into something else. They decided to make them rubber hose cartoons from the 1930s, with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit being an influence on their final designs. Some earlier designs of them show that there was going to be 4 siblings: Yaki, Smacky, Wacky and Bow. It was also around this time where the siblings got named after the Warner Brothers studio, as Spielberg suggested the show should get a marquee name. Then they combined Smacky and Wacky into Wacko, Yaki formed into Yakko, and Bow formed into Dot. A later design change was in July of 1992 when the show started to produce its sketches. To promote the show they put up a giant Yakko balloon, but the CEO of Warner Brothers at the time mistaken it for a bootleg Mickey Mouse, and that Disney was playing a prank on them. Tom Ruegger told him that it was a character from Animaniacs. Then they added whiskers on the Yakko and Wacko to differentiate them from Mickey Mouse. The Warners weren't the only characters with tons of changes. Mindy and Buttons were originally scrapped, but Spielberg's kids saw pictures of Mindy and Buttons. They liked them enough for Steven to put them back on the show. Minerva Mink was originally named Marilyn Mink, referencing Marilyn Monroe, and she was originally going to be naked, but given the character's sexual nature, they felt it wouldn't be appropriate for children. The hippos weren't originally foreign, they were actually going to be American, being called John and Martha, not to mention the tons of characters that didn't make it to the show parts pre-production, like Latiger, Bossy Beaver and Doyle, the Fleas, presumably the Flea family from Tiny Toons, Nipsey and Russell, and more. But more characters have been added to the main cast as production went on. 5 animation studios were contracted to animate skits for the show, such as TMS Entertainment, Startoons, Wang Film Productions, Freelance Animation and Acom. Animaniacs first premiered in the 13th of September 1993 on the Fox Kids network, and was a massive success, an even bigger hit than Tiny Toons, and it's won 8 Emmy Awards and 7 nominees, 10 Annie nominees, Young Artists Award and a Peabody Award.